There is a component to our work that can never be missed. It's a component to our work that could never be subtracted. It's a component of our work that is crucial, whether we like to admit it or not. And that component of our work is you. You are one of a kind. And inside you, you have the universe. You have everything in you that's capable of creation. You're a manifestation of creation. Think about that. So if you come from that, think about what you are. Think about where you come from, and think about what you're capable of. We have to also start to learn us and the things about us that we can utilize and explore that personalize all our work. It's your personalization that is going to make your interpretation of the circumstances what it is. We have to get away from being correct. We have to get away from being right. We have to get away from being polite. We have to get away from being civilians of everyday life. And we have to look at who are we in these extraordinary circumstances. Understanding that the extraordinary circumstances are not you. It's about finding the extraordinary circumstances in you and turning up the volume. How do you go on a self-exploratory process that turns you on, that carbonates your instrument, that through that quest, through that investigation, through that exploration, you can find justification in your psychology, in your emotion, in your spirit, in your feeling life, in your imagination, in the memory that you bring to the here and now moment that turns you on to live those experiences, those circumstances, and therefore go after your needs. You feel connected to them. At the end of the day, it needs to affect your spirit. You have to bring in the I am, the personalization. Asking yourself, what in this text, what in this world electrifies my DNA, electrifies my brain, my heart, my gut, my entire being, to really have faith in the circumstances, have faith in my obstacles, have faith in my history, have faith in my objectives, that my spirit, my soul goes after those needs, also understanding that my sanity knows that these are imaginary circumstances. But there's a part in us that we subtract sometimes because we want to be right. We want to be good. We want to be known as talented. We want to be known as A+. We want to be known as the good student, not the one playing the role. The human is. The human going through horrific circumstances. Whether it's theater of the absurd, whether it's realism, whether it's farce, satire, musical theater, it doesn't matter. You still got to bring yourself into the equation. And you need to utilize your imagination that excites the personalization that you bring to your work. You got to excite the imagination because they go hand in hand. The more you excite the personalization, the more the imagination gets excited. The more the imagination gets excited, the more the personalization gets excited. And that's going to start to make a difference in your work because when you see someone, they're talking to you. When you talk to someone, you're talking to them. And they're receiving you. You can't take your work personal because it's the work. But you got to take what happens in the space personal. What I mean by that is that there's always going to be ups and downs professionally. You're always going to have people's opinions. You're always going to either get a role, not get a role. You may fall on your face. You may succeed. Everything's fleeting. Enjoy the stuff that's good. Let go of the stuff that's bad. Because everything changes. Nothing lasts forever. This is our work, right? You can't hold on to validation. Celebrate it. don't hold on to it. Just as like failure. Look at failure, don't hold on to it because it's going to change. You can't take that stuff personally, even though the paradox is in our business, it is our person. That's the work. We're the canvas, we're the paintbrush, we're it. You can't be sitting there saying, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with me. You got to say, I did my best, it's not about me right now, move on. But when I'm talking about it in the space, you have to take it personally. Everything. If you look away from me in the space, I take that personally. If you see someone look down or scratch, or the inflection of their voice or the tone of their voice changes, I'm going to take that personally. Because everything is your food in the space. But the only way you can take everything personally is if all the work you're doing is affecting your person. Making sure that you're not just looking or fishing for the correctness or the rightness or the politeness or the check mark or the A+ in the work. You're looking for you. You're looking for those circumstances in you and turning up the volume of that character that lives within you, but it's still going to be a piece of you. Who else is it going to be? Not the blueprint. The blueprint's on the page. That's where bravery comes in. That's where courage comes in. That's where artistry comes in. As you build that justification, as you build that history, as you build the psychology and the relationships and your life within the environment and the circumstances and the obstacles that you feel and taste, you know that those live in your nervous system. Do you understand what I mean? That your nervous system is alive within those circumstances. And it seeks out what's going to improve your situation. It seeks out, how do I overcome these obstacles? It seeks out what within the intimacy of this relationship is going to give me what I need. It asks of us the bravery of what part of me am I willing to offer up in service of my work? What part of me am I willing to not hide that fulfills the messiness of the circumstances or the atrocity of the circumstances? You guys always hear me say acting is not for the faint of heart. Well, it's not, because it asks a piece of you. It says, you know what, I'm going to offer up this. What can I find within me that doesn't excuse the lack of humanity in human actions, because the actions are human. They're just not good actions. But what in me can I explore that I can offer up that allows me to understand humanity just a little bit more and myself just a little bit more? How do I offer that? How does that become service to humanity? Humanity is not rainbows and unicorns. People struggle, that people go through tough times, and the thing that our work offers, it says, this is true. This does happen, maybe not to you, but to other people, and it's part of our lives, and we can't pretend that people don't struggle, people don't suffer. And people celebrate, and people have accomplishments and successes. But we don't mind looking at that stuff. It's the other stuff that we mind looking at. Our job is the unmentionables. It is to explore the unmentionables. And artistry says, where am I in that? How is there a speck of my universe that I can offer to understand, not excuse, but try to understand what these circumstances are and then find the truth within them? That's the job. It's not the shell. The shell's done for you. It's the text. It's your job to bring your spirit and your soul and utilize questions that are inconvenient, but that quest you into the enlivening of your soul within imaginary circumstances. But it's you, the answer is you. It's you. Feeling who you are, making strong choices, and allowing your authenticity to not be determined by I'm right, I'm wrong, but allowing your authenticity to go after your needs bravely as it pertains to the text, and be present and alive with the you that is fulfilling the gap of the circumstances. But the answer is you. You've got to become the answer. All the technique, all the work, all the preparation, it's a big yes. But it's fruitless unless it does one thing. And it's one of the things that I keep saying. All your work is only as good as it actually works for you to do the work. All the work you do is only as good as it actually works for you to do the work. But the answer is you.